Hello, welcome to lesson number 12, where we talk about the reintroduction phase. So the reintroduction phase comes after you finish 3 to 4 weeks of your elimination phase. So if you have done that already, you are now ready to start reintroducing the foods from the red list back to your diet. Here are few important things to keep in mind. You will be reintroducing the foods one at a time. You will add one food item back into your diet every 3 days and then eliminate it again. You will again use your food recording journal to record what you eat and observe yourself and record how it made you feel afterwards. And the whole reintroduction phase can take up to 3 weeks. It will really depend on how many foods you actually eliminated in the first place. So the number of the foods you eliminated will ultimately define the length of your reintroduction phase. So here's why you will again need your food recording journal. I will want you to monitor your energy, your sleep, your mood, your mental clarity, your fatigue, your digestion, your bowel movements, and quality of your skin. And you will need to observe yourself to see whether you spot any negative symptoms. So watch mainly for insomnia, fatigue, joint pain or inflammation, skin breakouts or rashes, headaches, bowel changes or stomach pain, bloating or heartburn, brain fog, sinus or other respiratory issues, or heart palpitations. So here is guidelines on how to reintroduce the food back. You will basically operate within a 3-day cycles. And you will repeat the 3-day cycle with each and every new food that you introduce back to your diet. And you will basically repeat it till you test all the important foods. So on day 1, you will reintroduce the food back to your diet. You will eat at least 2 servings of the food in different times of the day. And you will carefully observe your symptoms and record them in your food recording journal. Then on day 2 and 3, you will just basically continue your elimination diet. And you will stop eating the food again and you will not eat it until you finish your full reintroduction phase. So you will basically just go back to what you were eating during your elimination phase. So day 2 and 3, you just observe symptoms. Day 4 will depend on how the days 1, 2 and 3 went. If you feel okay and you have no symptoms, you can go and reintroduce a second food from your red list back into your diet. And again, you would eat at least 2 portions a day at different times of the day. However, if you are still experiencing symptoms that happened because of the food you ate on day 1, wait until the symptoms clear and don't start introducing new food until you feel completely okay. Then again, observe yourself for 2 days. If any symptoms occur, record them. And if on day 7 you feel okay, you can go and reintroduce a third food into your diet in 2 different portions during that day. So if what I have just explained does not make 100% sense, I made a calendar that should help you to better understand how the cycle works. The key is to expose yourself to enough of the trigger food, so eat it in 2 different doses throughout the day, and then give yourself 2 additional days to observe the symptoms. If you have symptoms, get your system clear before you go and you reintroduce a new food, so you can clearly tell which symptoms are connected to a specific food. And here's what you can do to get the best results. Start with the foods that you suspect the most to be your problematic foods. It will most likely be foods that in the past you have been eating either often or in larger quantities. If you have done the standard elimination diet and you would be reintroducing all the foods from the removal list one by one, it would take you about a year to get that done. If you do the standard elimination diet, focus on the most important 5 to 10 foods. Another important thing to do is to introduce non-processed or minimally processed foods into your diet first. So let's say you are intolerant to gluten. Do not go and don't eat a bread that has 20 ingredients in them, because it will be impossible for you to tell which specific ingredient in the bread cause you troubles. Introduce a plain gluten-containing grain instead. I would also highly recommend you to introduce individual foods, not whole food groups. For example, when it comes to dairy products, you may react differently to butter, to milk, or to yogurt. So test all of them individually, not together. And when you should actually wrap up your reintroduction phase. If you have done the elimination diet light, where you were removing all processed foods from your diet, I would recommend you to reintroduce back between 5 to 10 processed foods that you were before eating often or in larger quantities, so you can see which of them specifically are causing you trouble. If you are doing the elimination diet medium, where you were eliminating between 1 to 10 foods, I would recommend you to test all 10 of them. However, if you did the standard elimination diet, where the list of the foods to remove is pretty extensive, I would recommend you to test anywhere between 7 to 10 most important foods from that list. Only people in extreme and rare cases are that sensitive and that intolerant that they need to go and reintroduce all the foods one by one. Ultimately, what you want to achieve is to figure out which foods were causing you troubles before you actually started the elimination diet. So if during the reintroduction phase you are able to figure out which are the 1 or 2 items that always kept you bloated or gave you diarrhea or gave you headache or fatigue or brain fog, that's when you won. You know that you got what you wanted. So go to the materials for download and download the food recording journal that is a little bit different for the reintroduction phase. Print a couple of copies and have them with you at all times. So you can record which foods you are testing, what you ate, and what symptoms, if any, occurred after. And see you in the next lesson.